Tonight, can the greatest mind on the planet find life on other planets? 37 million members of a dating website set up for cheaters may have their details leaked. So how many Aussies could be caught up in the chaos? She swapped an advertising agency for the kitchen. So which was more stressful for eliminated MasterChef contestant Sarah? Award-winning funny man Bill Hader joins us live in the studio, and Bill's bestie co-star is co-hosting with us. We can't wait to welcome the delightful Amy Schumer. This is the program.
Please make welcome 50 bucks.
Thanks, guys.
You picked a good night to be here.
I know, you've got a really big crowd for me.
They're all here for you. It's very good. It's been a pretty exciting office today. We're very excited to have Amy Schumer and Bill Hader in, both Emmy nominated over the weekend, and I think stars of the best film of the year, Trainwreck.
Oh.
Carrie, we gave it a big rap last night. Repeat what you think. Your call.
I think funniest movie I've ever seen.
There you go.
I know that's a big call, but I loved it. And I can't wait to speak to them, so I think I should get through the news so we can get to them sooner. Let's see what's making news this Tuesday, the 21st of July. And three-time world surfing champ Mick Fanning has arrived home exhausted but grateful to be all in one piece after being attacked by a huge shark at Jeffreys Bay. Fresh off the plane from South Africa, he says it's a miracle he was able to walk away from the incredibly close encounter.
You know, it was so close, and yeah, I'm doing okay though. Like, you know, I haven't got a scratch on me or. Yeah, it's just sort of more of an emotional, mental sort of trauma right now.
Legend. In the wake of the frozen berries contamination scare, a new government labelling system has been unveiled for products that are grown, made or packaged in Australia. Once it has state and territory approval, manufacturers will be forced to include it on their products from next year. Football Federation Chairman Frank Lowy's undergone surgery while on holiday in Europe to remove a blood clot in his brain. Doctors believe it was likely caused by the nasty fall at the A-League Grand Final in May. He's been discharged from hospital and is expected to make a quick recovery. And opposition leader Bill Shorten's been branded a hypocrite after it was revealed he claimed nearly $1,200 on travel expenses to attend a Labor Party fundraiser in 2013. His office says it's not the same as the Bronwyn Bishop scandal because he also had a meeting with the Maritime Union on the same day.
I was doing official work in my capacity as Shadow Industrial Relations Minister, full stop. There is no comparison.
I mean, Bill's poll numbers are so good, he'll just ride this out, I think. He'll be fine. He'll be sweet. He'll be sweet.
What if he was speaking to the Chopper Pilots Union? Do you think he would have gotten it?
What's the difference with what's going on here?
If he's telling the truth, his point is valid in that he's doing actual business, not doing party business like a fundraiser. It's not about the chopper, even though that's what everyone's focusing on. It's about the spending of the money on that. But I don't know the details of it, so I don't know.
A bit about the chopper. I mean, a flight from Sydney to Melbourne is one thing.
Yeah.
There's a helicopter, there's a luxury element from going from Melbourne to Geelong. I mean, we all drive that drive.
Yeah,
like
that's what makes it a sexy story, but that's not what worries the bureaucrats who are kind of trying to figure out whether they've broken any rules.
Yes.
Yeah. But it could be a technicality. This is the thing. Like, you set up a meeting.
If I went on holiday and I wanted to claim it, I make sure I catch up with you when I'm there or something.
Yeah. You say, we've got to have this meeting.
Happen.
It has to be on Hamilton Island.
And then I can pay it on tax.
Yeah.
When are we doing this?
It's that kind of... Well, it could be... We'll be going to China to watch a film.
We'll do that after.
Yeah.
And if I want to go to France, for instance, I would throw to a clip from the Tour de France. Speaking of which, the Tour de France continues in France. But I'm concerned that some riders just aren't that roadworthy. Check this out. These are professional riders. You got to turn your handlebars. You really do. Off he goes. Over. Use your brakes. Use your brakes if you've got them.
He's okay too. Just
he is
point
okay.
out.
I did not know that. But warning for future riders on the Tour de France: before you set off in the morning for your bike ride, make sure you take your tag off your jumper. It can lead to some inconvenience. I mean, you gotta make sure you take your tag off.
There's nothing worse than an itchy tag, though.
Well, maybe he's actually stolen it from the shop and they're trying to get it off, and the ink is going to go everywhere.
All right, moving on. And today, one of the smartest men on the planet joined a Russian billionaire to search for aliens.
Based on mankind's success so far, if you point a giant radio telescope at any region of space in the hope of picking up the radio signals of an alien civilization, this is what you'll get. But that hasn't put off Russian billionaire Yuri Milner, who's just teamed up with Professor Stephen Hawking to launch a new search for alien life called Breakthrough Listen.
This is a worthy cause, and it was really underfunded, and I saw this as the opportunity to kickstart the new search.
Bankrolled with $100 million of Milner's cash, Breakthrough Listen will use radio telescopes in West Virginia and California in the US and the dish at Parkes here in Australia to scan 1 million stars in the Milky Way and 100 nearby galaxies.
Just in one day, Breakthrough Listen will collect more data than a year of any previous search.
The Parkes telescope part of the global project will be led by an Australian scientist, and there'll be a number of Australian astronomers who are a key part of the project.
But even with all these resources, there's a big chance that Breakthrough Listen will only turn up more of this. However, Stephen Hawking says even if we do find nothing, it's still money well spent.
Mankind has a deep need to explore, to learn, to know. We also happen to be sociable creatures. It is important to us to know if we are alone in the dark.
Well, to talk about this more, we're joined by our favourite astronomer, Fred Watson. Fred, what do you think of this breakthrough?
I think it all goes to prove that astronomers are really good listeners. And in a sense, that's what we do. We eavesdrop on the universe. And what this project will do will let us eavesdrop even better than we were doing before.
But how does it work? I mean, what are they measuring? And, I mean, are they going to be dropping in on aliens having a coffee and chatting? Like, what are they listening for?
The idea is that if you've got a big radio telescope, that's tuned in to listen to signals that come from natural processes in the universe. We use the radio frequencies for communication, so that, you know, the first guess is that the ones out there will use it too. But having said that, there's another component to this project, which is the optical region, and by that I mean visible light rather than radio, because it's possible that there might be laser communications out there, and maybe we could pick those up instead.
Fred, speaking of radio frequencies, when I was a kid, my radio, if I went right to the end of the dial, there were always these little voices and noises. Are these the aliens, Fred?
I think you were ahead of the times there. Yeah, almost certainly. You know, you should have written to somebody, really.
It was before email. I was, you know...
Oh, there you go. That'll be what it was.
Yeah, buying a stamp.
Now, Fred, I'm all for astronomical advancement, but if the likely result is nothing, is spending $100 million on this such a good idea?
Yeah, because the end result is not really why we're doing it. It's all about, first of all, pushing technology to its limits, and that produces improved technology for ourselves. The Wi-Fi technology that we all use actually started off as a radio astronomy experiment. But the other thing is that it inspires people, and in particular it inspires young people who may become the scientists of the future. Who knows whether there might be an Einstein among those kids who are inspired by breakthrough listening at the moment.
Why are we so desperate to try to find other life? Would it be a good idea if we actually did encounter them?
If you had an experiment called breakthrough shouting rather than breakthrough listening, then I think you might have cause for concern. But as it is, we're already signalling our presence to the universe at large by shows like Network 10's The Project, going to air and going out into the universe.
Good answer.
Well argued.
Well, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for your time.
Great to talk to you. Thanks a lot.
We're off to a break. We'll see you soon.
Coming up, he's infiltrated a Manchester City training session and jumped on stage with Kanye. So why is this serial prankster throwing money at Sepp Blatter? Why a Scottish council is giving the deep-fried Mars bar a battering? Plus, not long to go till we're joined by Amy Schumer and Bill Hader. You're watching The Project. Scare in Melbourne has seen 6 people go to hospital after they had high tea at the luxury Langham Hotel early this month. All up, 44 people fell ill, 15 of them with salmonella poisoning. 1 person remains in hospital as health authorities investigate.
The main issue for me is to make sure the outbreak is managed and tackled appropriately, and I'm satisfied that all the steps that have been taken now are appropriate.
And the Scottish fish and chippery that proclaims to be the birthplace of deep-fried Mars bars has had a big win over its local council. Officials had demanded the shop's huge advertising banner be removed, but they were forced to back down after the community rallied, claiming it was an important tourist attraction.
It's exciting stuff. It's exciting stuff, Fifi. And to celebrate the birth of the fried Mars bar, they're going to build a giant blocked artery, which I think is a nice touch.
Have you really ordered that? Though? I worked in a fish and chip shop for 3 years and no one ever once ordered a fried Mars bar. I've never even had one.
Do you know, no, I have never tasted it. I really would like to, though. It's something I've always wanted to, but it just seems so indulgent and so wrong.
Yeah, but when I've got this theory you can deep fry anything.
And it tastes good.
Yeah, it doesn't have to... A tyre be fine. Is that true?
I don't know. Just the chocolate and the fry together, it just doesn't work
So you
for me.
can deep fry Mars bar ice creams as well, but I don't understand deep frying anything ice cream, but apparently that does work.
Doesn't the ice cream melt?
Well, that's what you'd think.
No, there's a technique for... Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah. Can you deep fry, just deep fry?
Oh, no, but if this is in the MasterChef final, I'm going to be disappointed.
It's time to see what else is making news around the globe. The US has officially restored its relations with Cuba, raising the Cuban flag at Havana's new embassy in Washington for the first time in 54 years. Hundreds watched on as the symbolic occasion took place, marking the end to their diplomatic freeze. The US flag is expected to be raised at America's embassy in Cuba next month. Greece has reopened its banks for the first time in 3 weeks following last week's billion-dollar bailout deal. Limits still remain in place, with customers only allowed to withdraw €420 a week. International transfers and cashing cheques are still a no-go. Miley Cyrus has revealed she'll host next month's MTV Video Music Awards. In true Miley spirit, she announced the news on social media, dressed up as an alien sporting a sandwich board. The new gig will mark 2 years since the singer's now infamous twerking performance with Robin Thicke at the 2013 VMAs. And FIFA President Sepp Blatter has walked out of a press conference in Switzerland after comedian Lee Nelson staged a protest and threw fake cash at him. The renowned prankster managed to sneak into the event by IDing himself as a North Korean World Cup delegate. He was later spotted in a Swiss police van.
He totally looks North Korean. He really does.
He was just annoyed it was fake cash. That's the only reason he walked out.
He looked offended, didn't he, at the thing. That was actually footage from the 2010 World Cup bidding process. I don't know.
That's exactly how it works. Yeah. Staying overseas to India now, where there's a real problem with a lack of hygienic public toilets for women. Well, that's inspired a New Delhi startup to develop this nifty contraption. I present the Pee Buddy. This is the guy who invented it. It's basically a bit of cardboard here, and he demonstrates. This is a corporate video to explain it. It's
Hold on, it's for women though, not men.
It's for women. It's for women.
But a man.
So you get a pack.
Right?
This is a cardboard doodle, isn't it?
It's basically there it is, and there it is.
But that's not where our bits aren't at the front. Or my bits aren't. Anyway, I mean, how does that?
Maybe you can get it individually taped.
I don't know about this, Fief.
I think it scoops under. It's like a cup effect. Not that I've used one.
It just dissolves.
I want one for the Ashes. You know, I'm up late at night. I'm trying to watch the cricket.
By the way, I think Pea Buddy might be my nickname for you.
No, I'm feeding a tasty meal helly from last night.
We're going to take a break. Heaps more coming up after this. To celebrate the release of Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, you and a friend could follow in Ethan Hunt's footsteps and take on your own incredible Mission Impossible to the stunning city of Vienna. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to successfully infiltrate a black-tie Viennese ball without having your cover blown. With costumers on hand to spruce you up and dancing lessons from one of Vienna's top dancing teachers, this really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This incredible prize also includes flights, accommodation and a whole world of other cool stuff, including an indoor skydiving experience. So hop online and you never know, you could soon be a Mission Impossible agent travelling the world.
Coming up, the cheating website hit by hackers. So what are the culprits threatening to expose, and could someone you know be at risk? It's knives down for MasterChef Sarah, so what's next for this wannabe cuisine queen? And Amy Schumer's right here after the break. This is The Project. Tomorrow, think the property market's all doom and gloom?
There's always money to be made out there.
Try telling that to 30-year-old Nathan Birch.
I earn over $2 million a year in rents.
Nathan shares his real estate success secrets with us.
Before the break, we were talking about the Pea Buddy for ladies. I've been told there's already a Shewee, apparently. So many options, ladies. Whack one in your handbag, off you go. There's all these options available to us.
And after you use the Shewee, sometimes you need the ShamWow. It all goes together quite well.
Some more news and MasterChef's Matt Preston has been left teary-eyed over last night's shock elimination of Sarah O'Terry. The 26-year-old's been a consistent performer, but she just couldn't conquer Grant King's liquid butternut gnocchi with mushroom consomme and cheesy truffle brioche toast.
Of course. Now, Sarah bowed out of the toughest MasterChef competition we've seen so far with all guns blazing, and she's been good enough to join us now. Sarah, this is a bit of a mini scandal, I reckon, because you were such a star performer the whole way through, and then just one mistake and you're gone. The rules need to be changed.
I wouldn't say it was that much of a scandal, but yeah, I had such a blast, but unfortunately last night was my night.
Sarah, don't play it down. This has got a lot of Ricky Lee about it for me.
Sarah, how terrifying is it to plate up something so complicated? I mean, you've never attempted it before, and to get this far in the competition, that must have been scary.
Oh yeah, it was completely terrifying, I'll be honest with you. Not only had I never cooked that recipe before, like the other contestants haven't either, but the techniques involved were so unfamiliar to me. I felt like I was putting a car engine back together. It didn't feel like cooking whatsoever.
I mean, I can barely pronounce half of the words on the dish, let alone cook them, Sarah. They're quite... what the hell is a consomme, brioche? Bloody hell.
Now, sources tell me, Sarah, that you were the resident prankster in the house. Is that true? What did you get up to in there?
I wouldn't say I was the resident prankster, but I definitely pulled a few pranks in my time. Reynolds was up there with one of the pranksters as well.
What did you do?
Oh, a few things. At one time... like, you have to understand, we're in lockdown. We don't have any access to anything, like literally anything. So one day, Amy and I thought we'd try and escape the house. And we got out the front gate, walked 20 metres down the road, and then realised we didn't have a phone, a wallet or passport. So we couldn't really go anywhere. And so we kind of ran back home.
Sorry, how did you get out? Was it a Shawshank Redemption sort of thing? Kind of London,
okay, so we got a lot of plastic spoons and dug a hole in the dark.
So you realised you didn't have a passport. How far were you going to go?
I thought at least I'd get a cab and go to a friend's house or something, but no, that wasn't even the case.
You don't need a passport to get a cab. Just putting that.
Well, congratulations on getting this far, and yeah, all the best with everything in the future.
Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for having me.
Being exciting, MasterChef, and food is obviously celebrated differently around the world, and that brings me to my new favourite segment.
Pete's Festivals of the World.
Oh, no.
It's going to be a keeper. You're going to love this. Today's festival is the 15th annual day of the cucumber in Sazdal, Russia. Enjoy. And that was...
Pete's Festivals of the World.
It's a good segment. It's a keeper.
Can't wait for the next one.
Staying with the Festival of the Cucumber, today 37 million adulterers around the world found out that the details of their affair might soon be plastered online.
With the slogan, "Life is short, have an affair," Ashley Madison's made adultery a big business. Launched in 2002, the site facilitates the affairs of its 37 million, mainly married or partnered users. But a hacking group might have dealt it a fatal blow. They've threatened to release the names and addresses of users, their sexual fantasies, even credit card details, unless the site shuts down. They say despite offering a $19 service to completely delete your account, the site never does, instead keeping your private details on a database.
It's hard to know whether or not this hack will spell the end for Ashley Madison, but I think it's going to make people think twice before they start, handing over such private information.
Apart from arguably facilitating the downfall of millions of relationships, Ashley Madison's also responsible for the most complained about ad in Australia last year.
Looking for someone other than my wife, Ashley Madison's right.
How this hacking applies to Australians in law is yet unclear. However, it is clear that hacking websites such as this is illegal.
On one side, there's a moral law that says adultery is wrong. On the other, an actual legal law saying hacking an adultery website is wrong. Fortunately, each has its own penalties. The hackers go to prison while the adulterers go to hell. Everybody wins. The company behind Ashley Madison has apologised for the hack. They say they're working with authorities, adding,
There's an old saying, which is you shouldn't put anything in an email that you wouldn't put on a postcard. For the 900,000 Australians who have had their information exposed this way, that might be good advice.
Catchy tune. Charles J. Orlando signed up to Ashley Madison. He says to find out why people would use it. And he joins us now. Charles, how'd you get that past your wife?
A lot of scotch, right? So it's not for the faint of heart. I mean, I'm a relationship expert, I'm a writer, I'm an author, and I started with a very simple hypothesis. Why do people cheat? And it's very easy to hand somebody $50 and walk around with your clipboard and kind of check it off, but you never really get any real honest answers. And I wanted real answers in today's technologically centric world. And so I went to the source.
And so did you get what you were looking for, if you know what I mean?
Well, I probably got more than I bargained for, but to save everybody kind of the trouble, I did not cheat, but I was very tempted. I mean, you put a guy in who's been in a 20, 25-year marriage in harm's way, and he's going to find harm. That's the way it works, right?
Let's talk about the site. What kind of details, you know, there's a lot of people that would be worried today. What kind of details did you have to provide? How much personal info would be on there for these people?
Well, you're putting together a standard profile, basically, but it's really the information that you end up sharing. There's a lot of nude photos that are passed back and forth. I didn't send any, but I definitely received my fair share. Those chat sessions, those inbox messages, all those nude selfies are up there. There's a lot of people who are out there who should be pretty worried. It's not going to be a good day at home tonight or tomorrow if this data gets released for a lot of people.
So, Charles, I mean, given the nature of this site that it endorses infidelity, there's a lot of people looking at these people whose details may be leaked thinking, well, it serves you right. I mean, there's not a lot of sympathy out there for them. How do you feel about it?
The fact that we're having a discussion about choosing sides between cheaters and hackers really worries me for the state of the world, by the way. But besides that, I mean, what we're really talking about here is people using a combination of technology to have affairs. If there's a will, there's a way. And anybody who wants to have an affair, you don't need any of the targeted sites or applications to do it. You'll find a way.
Well, Charles, I admire your commitment to research, and I've greatly enjoyed speaking to you.
Yeah, well, what you really mean is that you're sorry that I'm so stupid and you're wishing me luck, and I appreciate it.
Thanks for talking to us tonight.
Thanks very much.
Leaked details in Ashley Madison could have a real impact on marriages in the same way that cheating on your marriage could have an impact on your marriage.
And Charles has given a whole lot of people an idea. I'm writing a book, honey. That's why I'm writing a book. If you have just joined us, here's what's making news this Tuesday, the 21st of July. And exhausted but grateful to be alive, three-time world surfing champ Mick Fanning says his incredibly close call with that shark in South Africa has left him emotionally traumatised and mentally drained. He's arrived home in one piece but admits it was a very close call.
I guess someone was looking out for me, you know, to walk away from, you know, a shark attack with not a scratch on you. It's like, it's a miracle, really.
Fellow surfer Julian Wilson, who went to Mick's aid, has been nominated for a Bravery Award by the Queensland Premier.
I think if any award was going to be given out, I think they all definitely go to Mick.
Yeah, he's the superhero.
Following a series of police raids, two men have been charged with attempted murder over the shooting of a police officer in Melbourne earlier this month. The pair are also facing charges over a drive-by shooting that targeted Carl Williams' father, George. They've been remanded to face court in November. The latest news poll shows voter support for opposition leader Bill Shorten has hit an all-time low of 27%. And while voters rate Tony Abbott as the better PM, Labor is still out in front of the coalition, 53 to 47% on a two-party preferred basis. And the first on-road trial of driverless cars will start in November in South Australia, the only state that allows the high-tech vehicles on its roads. And Adelaide Street will be closed down for the controlled tests to make sure there are no bingles with any real-life motorists. You're terrified of this, aren't you?
I don't think we've thought this through.
There's so much you could get done, though, in a car without having to drive it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. But the idea that all these cars are going to be hooked up, presumably via the internet so that they don't crash, I don't want to get too dark about this, but think about what happens if someone hacks into that. Seriously, think about that.
Well, that's why they're doing it in Adelaide, where there's not as many cars.
I thought you meant where they don't have the internet.
They're starting small.
But this can't really happen. This isn't. I look at this and go, it's one of those things. Yeah, like Back to the Future. We're not going to be in hovercrafts. We're not going to be in jetpacks.
No, but the thing is, it exists.
Yeah, but it's just pretendies, and it can never happen. You can't get in a car you can't drive. That's not happening.
Driverless cars would make Uber rides much more enjoyable. Let's move on now. Here we go. When it comes to comedy around the world, there is quite simply nobody hotter than our next guest.
Amy! Hi! I love your hat. Are you drunk? I look like an Armenian man. People are trying to buy carpets from me.
After years of hard work and dedication, Amy Schumer has become the ultimate overnight success.
Is it someone's birthday or?
Oh, kind of the opposite. We're celebrating Julia's last day.
Yes, salute.
Her sketch show Inside Amy Schumer has been a massive hit and is winning praise for its biting and critical takes on beauty standards and the objectification of women.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how funny was Inside Amy Schumer? You guys can write your answers on the cards in front of you. Okay, so...
2015 has seen Amy's profile explode around the world, giving out the awards for MTV and even picking up a few awards herself.
I'm probably like 160 pounds right now, and I can catch a whenever I want. Like, that's the truth.
To top it all off, Amy has now written her very own movie, Trainwreck.
Morning.
Oh, Amy. What happened? Did church let out early?
Also starring Bill Hader, Trainwreck follows Amy as a hard, partying, big drinker who doesn't believe in monogamy until she meets a good guy and is forced to face her fears.
This is Amy. I think you butt dialed me.
He called me on purpose. Hang up. He's obviously like sick or something.
We just hope she doesn't settle down too much.
Hey, look, it's Amy Schumer.
I totally deserve that. I want to say thank you, but it said you're welcome. Is that okay? Thank you guys for having me on. I love the project, right?
Yes. We will be using that in clips for years.
I know. I regretted doing that while I was doing that. Thank you guys for seeing the movie.
Oh, honestly, so much to chat to you about, and the movie was a pleasure. I've been saying it to these guys. I think maybe funniest film I've ever seen.
That's the nicest thing ever. That really made my day that you said that.
And that's not like a showbiz thing. She actually means that.
No, I did. I was really annoying. I laughed loudly at the back the whole time.
I so appreciate that.
Yeah.
You're like, also, it's the first movie I've ever seen.
But I just discovered when we were just talking there during the package that you wrote some of it in Sydney.
Yeah,
how did that come about?
I was here for 3 weeks on vacation, and I just kind of holed up in my hotel and wrote a lot of it in Sydney.
Is that what you do on vacation? You write hit movies?
Yeah. Why? What do you guys do?
Were you inspired by our Aussie blokes? Do they give you some inspiration?
Those are guys. Yeah. The women and men here. I don't know why you guys aren't just like all having sex with each other. Like, the hottest people in the world.
There is an after party after each show, eh?
That's the real project.
You wrote Trainwreck. You star in it. Judd Apatow directs it.
I know.
So when you got the call from Judd, he heard you on Howard Stern, and he said, "I want to make a movie with you." What was that phone call like? What was the initial?
I wish it was like that. It wasn't. It was like agents and whatever,
Right, okay.
and they said he wanted to meet, and I was like,
What if somebody
really?
gets full?
Oh,
No.
really? Right now? Yeah, I was so excited just that he wanted to meet with me. I said, oh, yeah, I'm going to be in LA anyway, because I live in New York, but I was lying. I flew out right away to meet with him, and I just thought he was bluffing the whole time. I'm like, why is Judd pretending like he's going to make this movie? But then we made it, and it's coming out.
Is it controversial for me to say, I think it's Judd Apatow's, as far as his director, his best film yet?
Wow.
Because you wrote it.
You're naughty.
It is, because he
doesn't play by the rules. By the way, I'm drinking.
6:30 time slot. It's water. It's water, kids.
It's water.
Happy hour somewhere.
So you play a character named Amy in the film who, let's say, has her struggles with monogamy.
What do you mean?
Do you need me to explain?
No, I just saw the Ashley Madison segment. You know, I interviewed that guy on my show.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And, yeah, karma. Anyway, back to the movie.
Yeah, but do you think that is monogamy overrated?
Well, what do you think?
Well, no, I don't think that, because my wife, if she's not watching, will be watching if I say anything else.
She's not watching.
Yeah, right.
And also, I think it's realistic for some people, and then other people, it's not. Like, personally, as you guys probably already know, I am a virgin. I am saving myself. Yeah. But no judgments to any of the harlots in the audience.
But what you're saying is, if with the Ashley Madison thing, Amy's details would be being leaked out about now. Is that a fair comment to make?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like your character, she would have been.
She would have been surfing all over that. Yeah. She probably would be pretending to have a husband on there. Yeah.
I mean, what is so brilliant about the movie? Obviously, so funny, but also because it is a bit of art imitating life. There are some personal elements that you've brought to the screen, which was so endearing to know that they reflected your life. How did your family take that? Was it that difficult?
They are not speaking to me. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're all cut from the same cloth, and my family, chronic overshares, and they're thrilled. And it was an honest portrayal of our family, and I hope it's a story told with total love and affection. But yeah, everybody's really excited. Watching it with my brother and sister has been my favorite thing I've maybe ever done.
I had a sad cry and a happy cry in the movie.
Okay.
Which is the best. Isn't that the best? You've got to balance it out. Yeah. work through it with me, Amy.
No, that's really nice. Yeah, I think a lot of people are surprised that it's an actual heartfelt story as well as a disgusting comedy.
Now, we do have to go to a break, but you're going to stick around, yeah?
No. Bye.
Okay.
I'll be here. I will be here as long as you allow me.
I was going to say,
as long as this is happening.
Well, the contract says you are, so you better be. Yeah, thanks. We're going to go to a break. We're back in a second. Amy will still be here.
Gentlemen, raise your hands, please, if you think that Amy Schumer is not hot enough to be on television. One.
I think she might be hot enough.
Are you kidding me? There are facts that tell us definitively that this woman is objectively not appealing.
It's 12 angry men inside Amy Schumer.
To ask you about 12 Angry Men. That, I think, I tweeted at the time that it's the best thing I've ever seen in comedy. Like, the execution, the performance, it was... the jokes.
I'm gonna move here.
The point you were making was just so beautiful and funny all the way throughout it. That was... for those who haven't seen it, it's like a 22... It's your entire episode, so it's like 22, 23...
Yeah.
All shot in black and white.
Yeah.
Like, and you directed it.
I directed it. I wrote it and directed it, yeah.
Was it hard to... Because they're saying some pretty awful things about you. Yeah,
right.
Was it hard to write that stuff? Did you write it yourself, or did you...
I wrote it all myself, because you know what? You don't want your writers to come in and give you new insecurities. Like... You know how, like, your face is huge? You're like, actually, I'll handle the insults. Thank you. I learned that from doing roasts. But, yeah, and I got nominated for an Emmy for directing it. And,
there we go.
Paul Giamatti got nominated for an Emmy for his performance, so we're really excited. Especially he's doing me a favor, you know, and then he gets an Emmy nomination.
But you know, it's a big risk to do a 23-minute sketch, which is effectively what it is. Like, that takes a lot of guts.
I really thought they were going to say no, and but yeah, I guess I have a lot of guts.
Because you're
sketch I love, and because of our time slot we can't say what it's actually called, but Last Shagable Day we'll call it. We'll call it Last Shagable Day with Tina Fey, Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Patricia Arquette. And I mean, they actually, I could imagine that they were there just hanging out in the field chatting. They looked like they enjoyed it. Was it really easy to get them on board?
I am not lying when I say that was probably the best day of my life. We had the best time. No, yeah, they were all, it was just about scheduling, and we figured it out, and they were like, we're in. And I just got to hang out with them all day and make jokes, and it was such a pleasure.
So good. And then only this week the GQ's come out. We've done this incredible shot, Star Wars. We've got some clips of it here. I mean, this is so funny. I mean,
we were so late. We were late to an event.
I'm sure he looks worried.
Were you a Star Wars fan? Is this like living out a dream for you?
Yeah, well, I love Star Wars, but it's more... My family loves Star Wars. Like, my brother was the biggest Star Wars fan, so this was... Move that bar! That bar! But yeah, it was a total dream come true. And I heard I haven't read anything, but I know it's been like a controversy, but I haven't read anything, but I think it's
there's no permission.
funny.
Star Wars didn't give you... Disney
Well,
didn't
you
give
don't need
permission?
to. It's parody laws, so thanks.
Nice.
Sorry.
We do have heaps more to chat to you about. We do have to take a break. Stay with us. Lots more on the other side.
Coming up from Saturday Night Live to South Park, Bill Hader was born to make people laugh. The talented man himself joins us live in the studio. This is The Project.
That's chat. Some more news, and she's BFF to a bevy of famous people. But Taylor Swift has added another name to her list, inviting transgender model Andrea Page up on stage in Chicago. The crowd went wild as the pair strutted their stuff alongside Taylor's other special guest, Victoria's Secret model Lily Donaldson. And Kim Kardashian's people are trying to shut down rumours that she's hired a personal trainer for her 2-year-old daughter, Northwest. An insider claims the pampered toddler is being put through her paces with stretches and basic aerobics to get her used to a gym routine early in life.
It's getting scary when the baby is almost down to their pre-birth weight. That's where it gets concerning.
I have a niece, and she's 17 months, and, like, we have the same body. Like, I'm looking at her, you know, we have all the same, like, I'm just like, it's not right.
But you, Amy, you look amazing, and speaking of personal trainers, in this film you look so good.
Oh, and thank you.
But I read that, and I hate that this is happening in 2015, that Hollywood execs might have suggested maybe get in top shape, put pressure on you to shape up.
Yeah, well, they were like, how do you want to look for the movie? And I was like, ooh, I don't know, like scarves and blazers. Like, I didn't know what they meant. But, you know, the TV show, like, we're on a little screen right now, but then they were like, you're going to be on, it's a big screen, like, maybe skip a meal. And I was like, okay. So, honestly, what I did was just, like, I only drank on Fridays, which, and you know what, the movie's doing great, but still, like, not worth it. Wouldn't do it again.
Now, you may have heard we have a guest who's about to join us. Would you like to do the honours?
Yes. Our next guest is such a talented actor that he was my 7th choice to play my leading man.
Plucked from virtual obscurity in 2005, Bill Hader rose to fame on Saturday Night Live.
Never even supposed to be on Saturday Night Live. I grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma like an idiot in some book.
Starring alongside the likes of Kristen Wiig and Amy Poehler, he quickly became known for his celebrity impersonations.
Say hello to my little lady.
And recurring characters.
Yay, Stefan!
Stefan, everyone!
His talented voice has featured in South Park.
What first?
The Simpsons.
Did my voice go all evil?
And the latest Disney Pixar movie, Inside Out.
All right, what are we watching?
And speaking of movies, like all good SNL alumni, Hader has starred in a stack of blockbusters, which brings us to Trainwreck, where he plays successful sports doctor Aaron Connors.
We need to just keep it professional.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we really like each other and we should start dating.
No. I have plans.
What are your plans?
Dentist.
Is that true?
No.
Could you please welcome Bill Hader?
Hi. Hello. Hello.
Would you like some time? I can...
Yeah.
All right, carry on. Now, great to have you here. And you play Amy's love interest in the film, and congratulations on the performance. But what I hear that Judd Apatow wanted to make sure that you were convincing as a couple, so sent you out on a date, but then stood back and took photos.
It was very strange.
So weird.
It was very weird. Yeah, I auditioned for the movie, and then he flew me out to New York, and I did a screen test with Amy, and then I thought, well, that's it. And then Judd said, no, we're going to go and have dinner together, and I went, oh, cool, the three of us are gonna have dinner. And then he just sat and watched us eat.
He just watched us eat.
And then every once in a while, he'd take a photo and then kind of be like, yeah, that was good.
Just talking a camera in our face.
And then we were just going, sir?
Excuse me, sir?
Sir? And then we went to the Girls Season 3 premiere party that night, and he was walking around everybody going like, do you think these guys would make a good couple? And I hadn't had the part yet, so I was just sweating. Like, this is awful. Is everybody going through this? Every actor? Yeah.
And look how great a couple you made.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
In the film, you play a sports doctor who treats massive stars like, you know, LeBron James. I think we've got a clip here of LeBron. Let's have a look.
Sorry to interrupt. We watching Downton Abbey later?
LeBron, I'm being interviewed.
Listen, I'm watching it tonight because I'm not going to go to practice and all the guys are talking about it and I'm left out.
Oh. Who knew that LeBron James could act? He was awesome.
Fair. It's not fair. He's so good. It really is not fair. He's really good at basketball, and he's a better actor than I am.
Did you shoot hoops while you just to fill time when you're waiting between takes or anything? Or?
No.
But at what point does LeBron James come on? Did you write him in? Or?
Yeah, he's the only basketball player I've ever heard of, so... wrote him in, and yeah, luckily he said yes, and then I think we all thought we were going to have to, you know, coach him through being funny, and he was funnier than all of us, and it was a little hurtful. It was a little hurtful.
But they're all great. All the sports stars, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, we just lucked out.
Yeah, they're all fantastic.
Well, speaking of John Cena, I mean, he is outstanding. And that scene, the intimate bedroom scene with you, Amy, where... how did you not laugh? The sex scene.
That's so sweet of you. You've seen in the bedroom where you're intimate, on top of each other. That scene.
It was my last shot.
How on earth did you keep a straight face? How many takes did that take?
Because he was actually inside me. Now listen.
He didn't understand the whole acting thing. He didn't understand it. It was his first sex scene.
Who am I to stop him?
Apparently wrestlers, they're not faking when they do that. When they're wrestlers, they're not fake.
Inside your apartment, on the set. That's what we're...
Sure, if you want to call my vagina my apartment. I'm not from here. I don't know what you guys...
Yeah, is that what they call it here?
Right now, I forget what they call it.
And Bill Hader. Barry.
Some more news now, and James Pack has missed out on the chance to bring new meaning to the term Brisvegas. His competitor Echo Entertainment Group has won the right to build a massive new luxury casino resort in Brisbane. Work starts on the $4 billion project in 2017.
This is absolutely a new iconic Brisbane that we can showcase to the world. It is going to attract millions of tourists.
And learning you're pregnant can be a shock, but great-grandmother Doris Ailing couldn't believe it when she received a letter from the local hospital telling her she was expecting. The 99-year-old hasn't been in the family way for 70 years. The hospital has apologised, saying it was a rare administrative error.
What a slut. I'm not going to say anything else that's not family-friendly. That's it.
That's right. Bill, I want to ask you a question. You've worked with two of the biggest, I guess, legends in comedy, especially with Judd Apatow and Lorne Michaels, and Amy Schumer in the third. But Judd seems like a different kind of person to Lorne. There's a bit of a mystique around Lorne Michaels.
Yeah.
What's he actually like? Can you give us a...
Lorne's very sweet. He's a very nice guy. He has a blueberry farm in Maine. Oh. He does, and he has a blueberry farm in Maine. That's what he does. That's how mysterious he is.
Did you go visit the blueberry farm?
No, he'll call me.
No one ever comes back.
No one ever comes back. Yeah, he'll call me from the blueberry. He's like, I'm just looking at my blueberries. How are you? How are the kids?
That's quite a good impersonation, which is, of course, what you do. I'm intrigued in this process of doing an impersonation. Is it hours and hours in front of the mirror? Can you just do it instantly?
No, it's just, you hear a voice.
You love looking at yourself. You've always said that, right? You love looking at yourself.
Yeah, I love looking at myself. You just sit there and sometimes people have a good voice and, what is that? Oh, that's my very first show. That's the very first time I was on there.
Oh, so cute. You're 10 years old.
I know. I was 10 years old. But no, yeah, it's a hard. Sometimes they're easy, sometimes they're.
So could you do an impersonation of Amy right now?
Oh.
No.
Glug, 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 glug. But this whole thing. Glug, 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 glug. Someone hold my hair.
You're lucky I won't.
Is there any that you can't do, like that you're annoyed with yourself that you can't do, or you can just do any?
I can
You
do.
can't get.
I can't get. That's a whole other thing. I mean, they
I
found
didn't
out they
say
had
it.
to film
I didn't say it. I didn't say
We'll move on. I'll move on for you. I want to talk to you about Inside Out because
thank
that
you.
is.
Relax.
You play fear in Inside
Yeah,
Out,
yep.
and Australian families are loving this at the moment.
Oh,
we were talking about today, like, would fear have been your choice of like emotion, or you would prefer angry, or you?
Yeah, I had no choice. They just said, "Who's our most neurotic friend?" Yeah, so that's how I end up playing fear.
And you got kids too. I mean, they would love the fact that you were playing that.
Yeah, they don't like it because fear's the voice that tells them to go to bed.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't like fear.
And Amy, everyone's excited about tomorrow night. You're playing a surprise stand-up show that we weren't expecting.
It's not a surprise anymore.
Sold out in minutes, broke the internet.
I heard that. I heard it broke the internet. That's awesome.
It was and people, is it just Melbourne? Because I know there's some people in Sydney and around the country who are, you know, their fingers are crossed.
This is going to be my last show.
Last show ever.
This is it.
Wow,
yeah.
this is amazing.
No, I am so excited that people wanted to come. You know, it's not my country, so I'm fired up. I was going to phone it in, but I guess I'll really show up now that I know they want to see the show.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you guys here. Trainwreck is in cinemas everywhere August 6th. It's a great film to go see. Would you please put your hands together for the fabulous Amy Schumer and the wonderful Bill Hader?
Just gonna...
I didn't want to miss out on Chiefy as well. MasterChef is up